Hello student, how are you? Welcome on the Darasa online. My name is Jonathan Mahinda. I teach geography. Today we are going to review on the topic of major features of the Earth's surface. The subtopic is on water bodies. As we learned in the previous, let us review on the water bodies. As I pointed out here, we look on the meaning of water bodies, the type of water bodies, and the features of the ocean floor. Dear student, as we covered in the previous, that the Earth's surface has land surface and water surface. The water surface covers about 71% of the whole surface area of the Earth. Now, we are going to review on these water bodies. Water bodies are the areas on the Earth's surface which are covered by water. This, as I said, this surface covers about 71% of the whole total area of the Earth. The water bodies can be water are contained with salt, or water are fresh. Now, the type of water bodies, student, as I pointed on the wallboard, are oceans, sea, lakes, and the rivers. Now we are going to discuss this type of water bodies one after another. Let us start with the ocean. Oceans are the large body of salt water surrounded by land masses of the Earth. And there are types of the oceans. One of them is the Pacific Ocean. Another is the Atlantic Ocean. Another is the Indian Ocean. The last here is the Arctic Ocean. Dear students, now let us see the oceans on the world maps, the way how they are distributed, and the way how the size are different from one another. Dear students, let us start with the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean in the world. It runs from the north, as you can see, to the south. And it covers the surface area of about 168 million square kilometers. Now you can see from the north is bordered by the North America, and it goes to the south and meet with the Arctic continent, while in the in the west is bordered by Australia and Asia continent. Another ocean is the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean, as you can see, it is situated here. It runs from Greenland up to the Southern Ocean. It covers a surface area of 85.1. That is very big. And it has some marginal sea, as you can see. Here there is the Mediterranean Sea, which meets with the Atlantic Ocean water. Another is the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean here is between African continent and Australia continent. It covers an area which is 7.5 million square kilometer. And it has a marginal sea. For example, here, that is the Arabic Sea. And here, that is the Red Sea. On the east, as I said, that is the Atlantic Australian continent. And to the south, it meets with the Antarctic continent. Another is the Southern Ocean. The Southern Ocean is here. It covers from here to the whole this area. It has a surface area of 22.0. The last ocean, which is the smallest one, is the Arctic Ocean in the north. It runs from this area to the whole. And it covers a surface area of 15.6. So these are the major oceans of the world. Dear student, now let's review on the sea. The sea is a large body of water which partly is covered by land and partly is open. Now, the seas which are open, these are called open sea. And the oceans which are enclosed, these are called enclosed sea. Now, dear students, now let's look on the seas. The Mediterranean Sea here, this is the open sea, as its water meets with the water of the Atlantic Ocean. And the Red Sea here, also it is an open sea. Together with the Arabic Sea, also it is an open sea. While the enclosed sea is the Caspian Sea, while the open sea also is a Baltic Sea. Dear students, let us also look on the lakes. A lake is a hole or a depression on the surface of the earth. It may contain salt water and fresh water. There are some of the lakes that contain fresh water. For example, Lake Victoria, it is here. It has fresh water. Lake Tanganyika in Tanzania has fresh water. And Lake Nyasa also it has fresh water. Lake Superior in North America also has fresh water. While some of the lakes they contain salt. Lake AIC, it has salt water. And Caspian Sea now is considered as a lake. Also, it has salty water. Dear student, after we have discussed the lakes, now let us look on the river. A river is a large mass of water which are flowing from the high land to the low land with the gravitational force. The source of the rivers depends. Some of the rivers originate from the natural spring water. Some they originate from natural running water, like rainfall. When they are collected in a special channel. And its mouth also, it can end in the lakes, or they can end in the oceans, or can end in the sea. There, let us look on the rivers. In Africa here, we have River Congo, which pours its water into the Atlantic Ocean. And in Africa continent also we have River Niger, also poured its water into the Atlantic Ocean. While in North America we have the Mississippi, which pours its water into the Lake Superior. Dear students, these are the types of the water bodies which are found on the surface of the earth. Now, as I pointed here, these oceans, they are not flat in their flows. Their flows have features. So, dear students, we are going to review on the features found on the ocean floor. As I pointed here, there is a continental shelf. A continental shelf, dear students, as you can see here, continental shelf here, is a narrow sloping margin of the continent. There is a margin here. So there is a narrow margin of the continent, which is covered by shallow water, and it runs into the seaworld or the ocean world. Another is the continental slope. A continental slope is an area where the continental shelf ends. It forms a steep slope which is running into the ocean. This is the one which forms the continental slope. Another is the oceanic ridges. The oceanic ridges, as you can see here, dear student, are the raised land from the ocean floor, which are formed by the cooling and the solidification of the magma. We will see the examples, for example, the Atlantic Mid-Oceanic Ridge, we will see. Next to that, we have the Oceanic Trenches. Oceanic Trenches is defined as a long from a certain floor of the ocean. Now it is long and narrow. You can see the width here is narrow, and it has a steep-sided. This is a depression. So we have some examples of the trenches, like the Java Trench. We will see. Next to that, we have the islands. The islands are the land, as you can see, the land, which are covered land, which are formed by the protruding of the land, which is formed by cooling and solidification of the magma. Also, we have different oceanic islands. We will see in the map. For example, we have Zanzibar. Island, and we have Comoro too. The last here, we have the hills. These are the raised land on the ocean floor. They are formed due to the deposition of the organic and inorganic matter, like the accumulation of the coal. This can form the hills. Dear students, now let us see the distribution of the Mid-Oceanic Ridge and Oceanic Trenches. Dear students, as I said, that the ocean floor has features, and we learned that there are oceanic ridges and oceanic trenches. Now let us see the ridges in the world maps here and where are they situated. Now look on this side. I said the ridges are the red part of the ocean floor which are formed through the cooling and solidification of the magma. Now you can see this line here shows that the magma were raising up. Then they cooled within the oceans or the sea. And in this part, you can see here, it is a line which is indicating Mid-Oceanic Ridge here. And on this side also there is a line indicating the Pacific Ridge. Now, apart from the ridges now, we said there are oceanic trenches. Here, on this side, you have Atlantean trenches in the North American continent. In this side, there is a Peru trench in the South American continent. And other, as I mentioned, you have Java here, Java trench, and Toga trenches. So, dear student, we have reviewed these trenches and ridges. Dear student, now you are in a position to answer the questions which are related with the water bodies or the features of the ocean floor. Now, let us see the questions. Dear student, let us see the questions which are related with the subtopic which we have learned. The question number 1 is a matching item. The question number 1 states that match the description of the water bodies in the list A with its corresponding name in list B. Dear student, we are in a position to answer this question because it is a revision. Okay? Now, can you answer the question? All right. To save time, let us answer it together. Now, what we do here, we have list A. And list B. And Roman 1, Roman 2, Roman 3, Roman 4, and Roman 5. Okay. Now, I will read the description. Number 1, a depression in the surface of the earth that contains fresh water and salt water. Roman 2, a large body of water, of salt water, surrounded by the land masses of the earth. Roman 3, a mass of fresh water flowing from highland to lowland by gravitational force. Roman 4, a raised part of the ocean floor formed as a result of the cooling and solidification of the magma. A gentle sloping of the margin of the continent that occupied by shallow ocean water. In the list B, letter A, Mid-Oceanic Ridge. Letter B, water body. Letter C, continental shelf. Letter D, lake. Letter E, ocean. Letter F, salty water. And letter G, river. Now, let us remember what we have learned. Let us start with number 1. A depression in the surface of the earth that contains fresh water or salt water. What will be the answer here? A. Mid-Oceanic Ridge? No. B. Water body? No. C. Continental Shelf? No. Because a continental shelf, we said, is a gently sloping margin of the continent that occupy shallow water. Lake? Lake? Yes. Because we said lake is a large body of water in the depression that contain salt water or fresh water. So the answer here is D. So you put in your table here. Roman 2. Large body of salt water surrounded by the land masses of the earth. Letter A. Mid-Oceanic Ridge? No, as the description is on the large body of salt water. Water body? No, because the water body is an area on the surface of the earth that is accumulating water. So it's not an answer. C. Continental shelves? No, it's not an answer. Lake we have already picked. The ocean? Yes. The ocean, we said, it has salt water and surrounded by the land masses of the earth. So the answer here is A. You put the answer here, A. Roman 3. A mass of fresh water flowing from a highland to the lowland by gravity force. Letter A. Mid-Oceanic Ridge? No, because the statement states that a mass of fresh water. Water body? No, because a water body is an area on the surface of the earth that contain water. So it's not an answer. Continental shelves is not an answer because there's a mass of fresh water flowing from highland to the lowland by gravity force. The lake we have picked, the ocean, salt water? No, a river. So the answer is G. You put your answer here, G. Roman 4. A large part of the ocean floor formed as a result of cooling and solidification of the magma. So this is A. Mid-Oceanic Ridge. So the answer is A. Answer here, A. The last one, Roman 5. A gentle sloping of a margin of the continent that is occupied by shallow ocean water. As we have picked the river, ocean, lake, this will be among the remaining. Is it Mid-Oceanic Ridge? No, because we have picked. Is it water body? No. So the answer here is C, continental shelf. Dear students, now let us see another question which is related with the water bodies. Dear students, the second question states that how can you differentiate the oceans of the world from one another? Now, dear student, you are in a position to answer this question because it is a revision. You can answer it, aren't you? To save time, let us answer it together. So the demand of the question here is to differentiate. And the key concept here is ocean. Now, dear student, you can do it this way. How can you differentiate the oceans of the world from one another? As I said, you have to look for the key concept. The key concept here is ocean. Ocean. You have to give the meaning of oceans. In this case, we say oceans are large body of salty water that is surrounded by the land mass of the earth. It is true. Now you can see the oceans are surrounded by land mass. While we said the sea are the body of water which is either whole or partly appearing on the oceans. That's why we said some of the sea are enclosed, some are open. With the oceans, all are surrounded by land masses. Now, the demand of the question to differentiate. Now here, you can differentiate by size. Say Pacific, you can give explanation. Pacific Ocean has a total surface area of 168.7 million square kilometers. And you can differentiate with the smallest one. And say the Arctic Ocean has a total surface area of 15.6 million square kilometers. That is on the size. You can differentiate also by positions. I say Pacific Ocean is bordered by North America and South America continent. On the east of it, while in the west is bordered by Asia and Australia. But also you can look for the marginal seas. Say the Indian Ocean has marginal seas, such as the Sea and Arabian Sea, while Atlantic Ocean has marginal sea, such as Mediterranean Sea and Baltic Sea. Dear students, these are just a few signs of differentiation of the oceans, but you can go on looking even the content of salt. Some of the oceans, they have more salt, others they have little salt. This is depend on the number of factors. For example, others are drained by rivers. More rivers, when they drain water into the oceans, it decreases the content of the ocean salt. Therefore, other factors include the temperature. And in the areas where the temperature is very high, the ocean, they have a tendency of its water to have high content of salt because of evaporation. But the other areas depend on the position. In the oceans which are positions on the north, where there is also very low temperature, also they experience low salt content. While the other factor depend on the ice. Some of the oceans, they have ice. When the ice is formed on the oceans, when they are taken out, they do not come out with the salt, then the salt is left in the oceans. Therefore, these are another factors which you can differentiate that some of the oceans, they have more salt water, others they don't have more salt water, depending on those factors which are just a few I have mentioned. Dear student, now let us see a third question. The question states that explain 4 features of the ocean floor. 4 features of the ocean floor. Number 3, explain the features of the ocean floor. Ocean floor. Dear student, this question here, it has also a key concept and the demand of the question. Now, we are starting with the ocean floor. Ocean floor is an area on the ocean which covered by sediments of organic and inorganic materials. Now, the demand of the question is to explain the features. the features, and the examiner asks us to explain only 4. So you can start by any, and say orange, and give explanation here. As we said, is the land which is surrounded by water, formed as a result of the rising of the rising of the molten rocks materials. So that is one of the features. Now you can go on saying Mid-Oceanic Ridges. This also say is part of the raised ocean floor formed as a result of the cooling and solidification of the magma. Again, you can go on. Continental shelf is a gently sloping margin of the continent that occupies shallow water. Dear student, you can end in there, but for the sake, you have to have more points, because we have covered 3. So the fourth here, we can say the trenches, Oceanic Trench. We said is a long, narrow, and deep-sided slope which branching from the ocean plain. Therefore, at the end of answering this question, you have to tell the examiner what is the significance of the features of the ocean floor. One of them, you can say there can be area for breeding fish. So say significance of it, the features of the ocean floor are important for fishing, as becomes sites or areas for fish, for breeding fish. Yeah. Dear Rena, my students, up to that juncture, we have reviewed the topic of water bodies. Now, what is important in here is that we do not learn the water bodies just for the sake of learning them. They are very important. For example, we have the ocean, as we have learned, that are very important for fishing, for transport. We have rivers, they are very important even for hydroelectrical power generation. We need to know them. So that is how are very significant for learning them. So I thank you for listening. Stay tuned for other sessions. Thank you.